So, I finally got my copy of Red Faction Guerrilla for the Switch. Let me tell you about what I had to go through to get this. Originally, I pre-ordered this at Gamestop. Now, my feelings on Gamestop, and especially around here, we don't have very many stores that deal in the kind of nerd cultural things that I like video games or whatever, right? And I do think it's important to have something like that around, especially for my sanity. I grew up in the age, where stores are very prevalent, and I like going in and perusing the shelves and seeing what's out and what's available and stuff like that. But it's gotten to the point where, with my local GameStop, the service has gotten so bad that I don't want to deal with it anymore. I'm just going to get my stuff. I got this off of Amazon today. Came in. And my thought is the only other outlet we have here is Walmart. And Walmart's not going to carry really niche copies of physical games. They're just going to be just go online and just download it, especially in my area. Because I'm a little bit off the beaten path a bit here when it comes to Pacific Northwest. Seattle's obviously got many more stores and many more choices. We have only so many here. We got basically Costco, Walmart, and GameStop for video games, and Costco's really doesn't sell them like they used to anymore. So I figure I get it from GameStop. I'm helping support them out because I know they're not doing so well, and maybe it'll help keep the store around for a little bit longer, so I have that resource available to me. So I pre-ordered the game, and I got an email. It says, your copy of the game is available at GameStop to be sold on such and such date, which is supposed to be the launch date, at your selected store. I walk into my selected store. It's not a quick hop over. It's a 15-mile drive from my house, so it's 30 miles both ways. And I get there, and they tell me it's not there. And I told them I got the email. And then the guy gets snippy with me and says it's not there. And I said, well, could you just check the back? Because one would think logically, when you're dealing with a company, that I can go on your website, type in zip code, and see if you have a copy of that game in your store. That means your inventory must be being uploaded to their system. And you would also assume I got the email because somebody scanned the game in, and the inventory added it, and then the email automatically got sent out. You would think. So the guy wants to argue with me and tells me it's not on his system. I ask him if he could just check the back. Maybe it came in or something. Who knows, right? He's not even willing to work with me there. He just wants to get snippy and smart. So I'm like, fine, fuck it. I leave. I made sure to call corporate and let them know about it, because this is not the first time this has happened. This actually happened before with this game. Sniper Elite V2. Another game I didn't expect a lot of people to have. Great port, by the way. I wish Digital Foundry would look at this, because this is the one game this year that they didn't check us ported on the Switch, and it's actually really good. It runs really well, it looks really great. Anyways, so I go into pre-order this. I actually pre-ordered this one in the store, not online. Get the email and everything, right? Walk into the store, do my 30-minute round-trip drive, and guess what? Didn't have it on the day it was supposed to be there. The store manager was in there. I'm guessing one of the store managers or associate manager or something like that, and explained to me that the production facility where these are being made got held up a week or something like that. I thought it was strange because I knew people were already getting their copy of the game and I didn't have mine, but that's the excuse he gave me. At the time I thought, not a big deal, mistakes happen, whatever. I thought it was a bit strange that I got an automated email telling me it was at the store when it's not. So I left it alone and waited, and it's supposed to be there on a Tuesday. It came in on a Friday. I went all the way back, so I've drove at this point now 60 miles round trip to get one game. Okay, that's a bit of gas. A bit of gas and a bit of time that I don't have a whole lot of anymore these days. So yeah, so I went in and got it, and he did give it to me at cost, so it was slightly reduced. But that's not the only incident now that I think about it at GameStop. One time I went in there and wanted to get my 3DS appraised with the games to see how much I would get out of them. And there's a long story why I was I was pretty much fed up with the 3DS and done with it, but it was something I was also kind of doing out of anger, and I got even more angry that day because I explained to the guy I wasn't sure I wanted to sell. I just wanted to see what GameStop would give me for it, and so he was going through the thing. Another store associate comes by, picks up the 3DS, flips it open. I figure he's checking it out, goes through the menus, deletes all my game saves and everything, like zeroes the system out. This is back in the day when Nintendo didn't have online accounts yet, and so anything you bought in the store was tied to the physical hardware. And so he just deleted all my games and all that stuff from the system, and for you to get it back in those days, you had to rebuy it. So I was really hopping mad, and I left the store. Another one I can think of is one time I went in there to get my brother a game, and there was 3 people working in the store with the back door propped open, smoking and talking, and nobody else in the store. I literally walk in, grab my game, go up to the counter, put it down. I already know what I'm getting my brother, right? I think it was like Rise of the Tomb Raider, if I remember right. And I'm sitting there for 25 minutes waiting for them to end their conversation to finally ring me up. They see me. I'm line of sight of the back door. They can see me. I look right at them. Guy says, "I'll be right there." His version of right there is 25 minutes later. I was so pissed at that time. I didn't go into GameStop for an entire year. But when I got my Switch, I got it at GameStop because they had the Switch I wanted with the colored Joy-Cons and stuff like that. They were the only store that had it. They had some of the games I wanted because they do carry some of the more niche stuff that you're not going to find like in a Walmart. And I always thought it's really good. And a few of my experiences there have been fairly positive for the most part. But there's always these like really aggravating, like want to tear your hair out experiences I have there on top of that almost makes it aggravating and not worth it. So this time with Red Faction, I had my final time with GameStop, and I'm not going back in that store. Unfortunately, every once in a while it'll come out with a physical copy that I want. So like this is a great example here. This is Katamari Damacy Reroll. You could only get the physical version through GameStop because they lock it down because they're kind of like a publisher in a weird way. So you could only get this through GameStop. Unfortunately, Ghostbusters is also going to be a GameStop exclusive. I'm just going to order it online and have them send it to the house because I don't want to go in that store anymore. So something I like to do is I love to go into the city, which is Seattle here, and hang out and walk around the city and check all the sites out and people watch and go into the game stores and stuff like that. And so I've started going more and more often, like every couple months, into a store chain here called Pink Gorilla, and they're kind of like set up to be sort of like a Super Potato clone, if you know what that is in Japan. They got the same deal where they got all the games like in baggies and stuff like that. And I get a lot of my retro stuff there, but every once in a while they'll also like import Japanese games for the Switch, and I've gotten because some places like some Japanese, like for instance like Okami HD and Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney only came out in Japan on a physical cart, and they happen to have them, and I've gotten them there. I've gotten some limited run games like Thumper from there and stuff like that. So pretty cool to have them around. And when you compare Pink Gorilla to GameStop, and especially my local GameStop and some of the service I've had there, it's just not there. The one in Silverdale that's closer to Seattle, I've been to that one. And I've always had the people in there be really snarky and snippy to me too, and I'm just like, dude, screw you. You know, I was like, I don't get it. I don't care what happened to you that day when I walked in the store or whatever. I didn't do it to you. Don't be a smart ass to me. I've never had that happen in Pink Gorilla. People have always been really friendly, nice, helpful, actually knowledgeable. It's another thing, is like a lot of the associates in GameStop are just not knowledgeable at all. And it seems like, you know, mom and pop chains are actually hiring people that are fans of video games and know what the hell they're talking about. So anyways, I won't be going into GameStop anymore. They won't be getting any more business. When most of my games, when I order them, I'm going to be getting them from places like Limited Run, Super Rare, and Amazon. I'm hoping like one of the last ones I get from them is Ghostbusters, because I really want to have it badly, and they got the exclusive deal locked down on it. So But anyways, yeah, I'm completely done with GameStop. Hopefully, you guys, maybe you guys can tell me some of your stories about GameStop out there. Let me know what you think. Do you have a good store? Do you have a bad store? I'd really like to hear it. Like, what's your experiences? Is it mostly positive or bad? And if you like this kind of video, leave a thumbs up down below and subscribe, all that good stuff. Dingle the bell to get notifications, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Later.